Today we're going to do How to Close Every Sale by Joe Girard. Well, I don't know if he thought this would be a classic, but I think it's a classic, and I'll tell you why. If you're in sales, and I've been in sales for 20 years, there are principles. If you follow those principles, you have a successful sales career, and if you don't, you won't. A selling position can get you more income outside of a business than probably most jobs. You can move into a six-figure income quickly in a short period of time. My second year in sales was in 1994, and I made $75,000. I didn't even know what I was doing. So what's that? 150 grand today. Sales is a fabulous job. You can go, if you get the right sales, you get with selling the right thing that you believe in. I think that's critical. You have to believe in what you're selling, and you can create your own hours. You can have your time off when you want. I've done real estate sales for 20 years. I love it that I could just come and go. Now that I sit in a model home so I can finish up my marriage and family therapy degree, I don't have the freedom I want, but I'm trading that because I want the degree. And I don't have to think about my business, my selling business, and stuff. I can just go and I work great when I'm there, and then I can be off and I kind of stop thinking about it. But you can have a fabulous lifestyle if you'll just live the principles that are in selling. Joe Girard, I believe he set the world record. Where would I see it? He set the world record, I believe, in number of sales. And he was a car salesman. He sold for Chevrolet. And he was phenomenal. Now, why was he phenomenal? Because he says in here, he says that if sales were easy, where did I see it? If selling really is easy, I would be an order taker. And he's like, no, there's some hard work you've got to go into it. Joe Girard was fascinating because what he did is he was there. He was present. When he was at work, he was at work. And that's one of the biggest struggles people have in real estate. I've seen people come in and out of the business for 20 years because they get in there and they have no training. If the company offers a training, lots of times they don't follow the training like they should. There's fears and different things, and he discusses those in here, fear of rejection, fear of whatever. And not understanding the principles of sales. But lots of people, they don't, I look at them like, I do more in one day than you do in a month. I contact more people. I don't know how you're going to stay in the business. And sure enough, they don't stay in the business. I remember my first office, actually it was my second office, and it was my first existing, I started out new construction, and then I left new construction, went into existing real estate, and I remember after a while being in my new office, I go home, tell my wife, I don't know how they're making it, Odd, because they're not working. I mean, we had a for sale by owner list, and people would put their names by the for sale by owner, and I would call every single one, and they would just pick their one. But then I found out that this lady, her husband worked. I found out this guy had a pension from the government. I found out this guy that his wife worked, or whatever the case might be, so that they didn't have to perform, and I did. And I still didn't even know what I was doing. And I've made so many mistakes, but I've always been able to make money in sales because I worked really hard. And that's the hard part. You have to be disciplined. Like I said before, Joe Girard, when he showed up, he showed up. He gives an example in here one time where he is meeting with someone. He left the door open. And they were talking about something outside, and he lost the sale because he was kind of paying attention to the people outside his office rather than the person, the client in his office. And that's... See, a great salesman works with people. He understands people. He empathizes with people. Or I should say she, whatever. But you know what I mean? He's not just going to push somebody into something they want. How many times I've been told they never called me back. I called on this house, no one called me back. Or I got this agent and they showed me things I didn't even want to buy. Or they'd only show me their listings and wouldn't show me other listings. I've heard that for years. Why? Because they don't think. What you want to do is you want to help the client succeed. Now, you, as an expert, probably know more than they do, or you should. And you better believe, you better have full faith in what you're selling, so that you know that, so you can sell it, because you're not pushing something on someone if you truly believe it is really good. And then you make it work. There's times when I just said to people, I'm sorry, it's not going to work. I can't help you. You don't have enough equity to sell your house with an agent, let alone on your own. And you don't have, or you don't qualify for a home. We can't buy a home. We can't buy a house. So let's help you get, and let's help you get into a home. So let's make a plan. Now, Joe Girard did this. He says the sale starts after the sale. This guy was genuine, he was honest, and he was there. He was with the people. So he was completely engaged. And he would use little tricks. He talked about one time when he said they would, because he says, and this blew my mind. Let me see where it's at. He says, I don't know where it's at, but I do know he says this, that you should close every single sale. Every single time you meet with people, you should close them. And I was like, there's no way. Because my numbers aren't close to that. And I think part of my problem is I haven't been committed to sales. It's just been, I could make a bunch of money, and then I was trying to always get into something else. And so I've jumped around, and I've always come back to real estate, or kept real estate kind of in the back burner kind of going, and then doing other things so I could get out. And that's why I'm getting my marriage and family therapy degree, because I finally realized, thanks to my great public education, 30 years later what I want to be when I grow up. So, or 20 years later. So I'm only 20 years behind. But I have a life experience, and I fixed my own marriage. Isn't that fabulous? So, anyway, I haven't been there. I haven't thought, I haven't innovated, I haven't thought, okay, how can I close every single sale? Because the more you close, the higher your closing percentage is, the less people you have to meet with in order to make good money. Or the more you meet with, the more money you make. It's just, but he would do things, he'd get on his hands and he says, are you going to make me beg? Are you going to make me beg? Now, that may sound kind of like a trick, but he got to know the client, and that was like a last resort. He absolutely believed they should buy this car. You know what? He drove the cars he sold. He's like, why would I go drive a Porsche? Do I not believe in what I'm selling? Hello, what am I doing? You know, fabulous. Fabulous example. I'll never forget an example he put in here about one of his guys worked at a screw factory. He's like, you work at a screw factory? What do you do? He says, we make screws. He's like, you make screws? And he says, yeah. He's like, I've got to come down and see that. And the guy's like, yeah, right, yeah, well, great. Well, one day, Joe Girard shows up at this screw factory, and he says, hey, Bob, or whatever his name is, he says, can you show me around? How do you make the screws? And what did he do? Bob just got this smile on his face, you know, huge grin. Hey, everybody, this is my car salesman, Joe Girard. If you need a car, buy it from... Why? Because he was genuinely interested in people. See, when I got on my knees and did that thing, that was maybe the wrong thing to tell you, because that was just one step, like way down the line, after he'd built all this rapport and really got to know the person and really wanted to find out what they needed and what was best for him. And he was phenomenal. Phenomenal salesman. And he goes through this. I highly recommend this book. I've got pages of notes in here on, I mean, I started taking page 2, page 3, page 5, page 6, page 13, 15, 18, 21, 25. There's so many great things. It goes all the way down of things that he's recommending that would help me in my sales career. Sales is, like I said at the beginning, is a fabulous career. It's a way to make excellent money. You still need to be an owner. Absolutely, you have to own. And if you make a ton of money in sales, own. Buy real estate, buy stocks, invest. Make sure you own so you can create equity and you can create a financial a financial reserve or financial, what's the word I'm looking for? Just so you be strong financially and that you can have, you know, combat inflation and different things to provide for your retirement and everything else. Because, you know, in sales, at least where I'm in real estate, I take care of my own health insurance, I take care of my own retirement, I take care of everything. I have no perks really at all in real estate sales. They'll have a contest or whatever over the years, or depending who I was with, but there was really nothing there. But like I said, I can make a ton of money, and if I do it right, or whoever does it, if they do it right, they can make that money and they can capitalize in investing it correctly. But this book, How to Close Every Sale, and I thought it was just like, yeah, right. He means it. He means it. He closed almost every sale. And like I said, he said the Guinness Book of World Records, I think he sold 1,000 cars in 1 year or something. Unbelievable. So let me just read off the chapters real quick. The table of contents, so you know what they're saying, or what he covers. Overcoming sales resistance. People obviously resist. What's the first thing they say when they come in? You say, "Can I help you?" And they'll say, "I'm just browsing," right? Classic. Selling yourself, assuming the sale, reading buyer signals, handling objections, overcoming procrastination, controlling the sale, different closing techniques, creating a sense of urgency, the dangers of overselling, going all or nothing, how to handle buyer's remorse, the sale begins after the sale. So, oh man, what a great book. If you or you know someone in sales, have them watch this and get him this book. It's as a gift. It is an incredible, it's Joe Girard, How to Close Every Sale. Get it, use it, love it. If this was helpful, please tell a friend. Please like us on Facebook. Please comment and let us know so we can continue to grow this blog and help as many people as possible. Thanks for watching.